in more tune than it was before. More in tune than it was last week. That's what I'm trying to say. Today's not a flashy video or anything. I'm just going to show you some audio examples from basically about 2 weeks ago. I asked on Patreon some song requests. People gave us a big list and I played it through here with the air compressor. Problem with the air compressor is it goes through a long line, long air hose, which means that it wasn't really able to play in tune. It didn't really work. I mean, it was in tune enough, but it wasn't really in tune. But basically, the last couple of days, I've spent a while voicing this thing. Voicing. It is quite a wrestle to work with propane. I've taken my earplugs out because I can't hear you. And if you could see behind me, the pipes are pretty much blackened with soot. Yeah, that's after 2 days of it. It's quite cool. I quite like it how they've blackened. You can't even tell they're even copper at the minute, except for a couple of ones that haven't really been used. I started at the back, the big ones, and then went down to the smaller ones, and I've only just finished the last 2 notes. It's literally taken 2 days to get them roughly in tune. By in tune, it's an interesting thing because you're playing with a lot of different elements. First off and foremost, the thing that we've talked about in the first couple of episodes of this series, and that is the heat of the gas inside the pipes changed the pitch. I think it was roughly figured out that it's 800 degrees. Every 800 degrees, the standing wave in propane, or the speed of sound in propane, doubles. So that means every 800 degrees, this will go up an octave in pitch. So that means that actually all you need is 100 degrees to pretty much go up 2 full semitones. So if you think about 100 degrees, that's not actually that much when we're talking about fire. These I've been measuring. Where's the measure? I've got a measuring gun. Oh, you can't use that on shiny metal. It gives you an idea. But the infrared heat gun, and the pipes end up being about 150 degrees. In fact, this bar right here ends up being about 130 degrees. The spark plug bar ends up being about, well, the top of this, the actual metal at the top is about 100 degrees, and then the bit where the actual booster packs sit, that ends up being about 80 degrees. I've got a bit of a plan for that. That plan being either A, going for the really long form one of actually drilling out and making welding pipes in here so they can all sit in there, and then basically sending water through this. So along with the water cooling jacket, you've got water going there, or we can go with the quicker and easier method of just welding a thinner bit of box section about that size on the back of here. So you're basically fighting with the fire and the cool air to go into there. It's only 80 degrees, so it's actually not that bad, and that's after quite a bit of use. So I think that's pretty good, and I apologize for the ambience in this video. It's all happening today. It's everybody seems to be having a little bit of fun. It's all going on. Also, these booster coils, what these are, and these are the things that I spoke about in the last video. These take the 6 volts actually. I'm using this battery instead of using the same power supply as the digital stuff. I'll explain that in a second. These go up via the relays. They go via the relays in there, and then they travel up into the booster packs. Now, I've heard a lot of comments about saying these are bad, and people saying there's other YouTube videos saying these are unreliable and really badly made and bad. And I'm not sure whether the people who are commenting, which is quite a lot of them, actually have direct experience with these, or they're just commenting because there is like a popular YouTube video about this bad-mouthing these. I haven't got a clue. I can't even think for the life of me of what else these would be used for, except for setting light to things. I'm not sure what practical use they really have. But anyway, so yeah, but my experience with these, and I must be honest, like, I cannot think of another situation where you need literally 30 of them. Like, I have a lot, even though it's a short experience, it's only in this machine. I have got a month in total of experience with this stuff. I have experienced 30 of these, and I can tell you for a fact that every single one of these has worked. I haven't had a single problem with them. I haven't had a single one break. They have got up to 80 degrees and still work, and yeah, and they don't crash with provided they're going through a separate power supply. No need for opto isolators, diodes, or anything like that, and they don't crash the Arduinos and stuff. I've got a flyback diode, just the same as with the solenoids, but that's the only thing that you need. So yeah, take it from me, these high voltage booster packs, I give them the seal of approval. And if somebody else has got bad experience with them, please let us know what it is, because I am struggling to think, unless it's been incorrectly used, or they're trying to make spark gaps that are far too wide for it. then I can't see what's the problem with them. Anyway, we go off. Anyway, you can see first off, this one is burnt. These three are burnt actually. The reason why these ones are burnt and the rest of them are not burnt is because when I was testing it, this bar was actually quite a bit higher, and also I didn't finish soldering these bottom of the pipes. What happened was actually the fire ended up coming out of this bottom of the lips of these two whilst I was adjusting them. In fact, it does still do that. That's why I haven't updated this, and that burnt this. But I found that once I have sealed up the pipes, that's pretty bad, I've done that quickly, the fire is not touching these at all. And this has been after 2 days of very long use. Like, I've used it probably solidly with multiple pipes playing for at least an hour at a time for multiple times. And you look incorrect functioning, where there's no like lower than the pipe hole function, there is no burnt wires whatsoever, unless it's incorrectly running. So if this happens again, I might put a baffle in front of this, but I'm not going to, because as you can see, when it's working properly, it doesn't have that issue. So it's fine. And the thing is, these are so cheap, you can replace them. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't had one break yet, even when one has accidentally shorted, which is quite funny. You'll see I have also removed the central kind of reservoir. I haven't got an expansion tank reservoir in this setup at the minute. You need a pretty damn big one for it to even make a dent in this setup, and you'll hear in the audio in a bit when I'm making it perform things. Technically, you don't actually really need it. It's not actually that required. So all in all, my idea with the spark plugs, the spark gaps are all over the place, but it still doesn't really matter. I've tried matching them up in direction, but sometimes they're nice and tight, so it doesn't really matter. They light the thing enough, I have found. I haven't actually updated the code since the last video either, so they're constantly sparking. In theory, they only need to be a zzz. I'll update that in a little bit, I reckon. But at the same time, I might not, because it works pretty well already. Another thing that we're dealing with is the air and propane mixture. Now, initially, when I was tuning these, I thought it would be a simple kind of like figure out the pitch change when you put propane through this instead of air. But it's not that simple, because you don't actually have just a propane mixture in there. You've got an air and propane mixture. And it starts out as a fully air mixture, and then it goes boo and becomes a propane. When it's the smaller pipes, this is why this is the reason why I've made it fundamentally smaller than the Mark I version, and also other fire organs you've seen, is it's quicker to get full of propane once they're small. The small ones actually get into the right pitch. Instead of going boo, they just play the propane note almost immediately. The larger ones, they take, you know, like 200, 300 milliseconds to get in tune. But once they're in tune, they stay in tune. I have thought about the idea of priming them first, which makes them last for at least a song of not being played. So might do that, like have a priming game where it just literally goes, whoa, fire. It all fills up before you play a song or something like that. That might be quite cool. But the other thing is, the funny thing is, you've got the filling of the propane as one issue that is better in the small ones than in the big ones. But now we've got the other problem, which is the temperature of the gas inside of the pipes. So this is the thing that we figured out in the first couple of videos, to add a water cooling system, which I haven't done yet, because I'll explain in a bit. But the smaller ones, opposite to the initial problem of the propane mixture, the smaller ones heat up quicker, which means the pitch of the propane goes up quicker. And the big ones, the biggest ones, are actually nearly imperceptibly big enough to actually not need water cooling. I'm going to add water cooling to them anyway, because it sounds like a fun idea. I'm just going to add water cooling anyway, whether it's needed or not, who knows. But I'd say in atmospheric pressure like around here, you probably only need to water cool the first 2 octaves. Once you get up to the larger pipes, the meter kind of length from the mouth to the top, you don't actually really need to water cool it. But I'm going to do it anyway, because I think it does change slightly. It does change slightly, and that's because of the overall temperature of the whole thing. Or is that a Spitfire? That is definitely... I don't think that's a Spitfire. Doesn't sound... Nah, it's not a Spitfire. It's not a Spitfire. What was I saying? And that's the other thing. You'll notice they're all still wonky as anything. That's because I need to get them into a relative tune so we can fine tune them after we've put the water jackets on. If I didn't do the kind of second iteration of tuning, which is what we're hearing now, which is not quite in tune, but it's in tune enough, I risk actually building all the water jackets onto it and then finding out I've made the water jackets too tall, which means I can't cut the pipes down. And yeah, that would be not good, because then I'll have to build new pipes or just spend ages faffing around trying to remove the water jacket. The other thing is tuning. So I've actually tuned it to 1 semitone below what it's supposed to be. Whether I just shift the pipes along is, I don't know yet. I'm actually thinking of adding a whole other octave in the middle, a taller octave. So this is a meter long pipe. We're going 2 meters in the middle potentially, but I won't do that until I know I've got the space after doing the water jacket. So yeah, so the C is actually a low B. So the lowest note is a B. And what we're going to do is, where if I add another octave, I'll end up just making 11 lower ones and 1 higher one. So we end up shifting it back up, if you see what I mean. So that's the plan anyway. So yeah, it's close enough. So if you've got some tuning apps, you can have a listen for yourself to see if it remotely stays in tune. And also check the drift, whether the notes overall drift. I haven't really tested the drift as it's playing the songs. I just figured there's no point knowing. I'm just going to build the water jackets anyway. It might still drift, who knows. But yeah, what you're going to hear is something that is still not very musical, but it's more musical than it was, okay? The full version of the request will be on Patreon, but anyway, let's have a listen and let's take it away. I am going to water cool the top bars because they're actually, the metal is, the paint is starting to cook. Once we put water through all of the steel box section that hasn't got holes in it, that problem might go away. These aren't that hot. These are hot, these are not hot. So the ignition system bar, stop is 4. It's on fire though. There is potential. I'm not going to keep on playing because I'm going to drive the neighbours mad. Yeah, I am quite pleased with how this week has turned out. I wanted to get to the end of this week getting a very good gauge of the heights of the pipes so I could get the water jackets on it without having to make a mistake and take the water jackets off again, which would be an absolute faff because you have to solder them on. And I'm pretty much there. I think I'll be able to put the water jackets in the middle of the pipe and have the wiggle room on the top of the pipe, be able to just, you know, fine tune it here and there. If you heard in the music that some of the pipes still go up and down in the fundamentals, you know, when they jump up a fifth, like in a trumpet. That I think is partially down to the heat. I've noticed that when some of the pipes get a bit too hot, they go up the fundamental in the organ pipe. It's a bit of an annoying situation, but I'm hoping that will go when I get the water jackets. And the thing is adjusting the fundamental is just a case of adjusting where the brass plug inside the pipe is. And once I'm 100% happy where the brass plug is, we drill it at the back and then solder a bit of copper to pin that bit in. But yeah, it's never going to be a professional grade instrument, that's for sure. You've got to ask yourself, what do you want to take away from this? It is an entertainment piece. It is a musical entertainment machine. It's like a calliope. It's like a fairground calliope. Calliope. It's a fairground calliope kind of thing. And like, if you listen to calliopes, like steam calliopes, the ones with steam coming out, they're never in tune. In fact, if anything, this one is more in tune than a lot of the steam calliopes that I've seen. So it's cool. I'm very happy with it. I'm really happy with where it is at the minute. So if you want to follow along, see more, check it out, and I'll see you next time. Ooh, yes. If you want to support this project to see more of it, check it out on Patreon. I'm doing more updates over there. This video was out a couple of days ago over there, but there's potential there. There is potential.